Hello my friends, I will show you an opening for Byzantium Empire, how you could easily play in first tiers, get rid of debt, and build legitimacy, return some cores, and be pretty stable and powerful in economic sense. So first of all, you do not pay for legitimacy till you have some good events, because in the very early part of the game you have only bad events for that, so there is no reason to pay for it. Let's not pay for anything else. Maybe we could pay for forts, but that's also not mandatory. We will remove most of them. I guess we don't even pay for food. And we tax everything except those tribesmen. Probably we could donate it to have pretty low satisfaction, but high tax rate. And we will not mint anything. And remove diplomatic spending as well. Right now we have very high expenses, but it will stabilize in first days. And as rivals, I usually select Ottomans, and Germanites, Bulgarian, and Papal State. Also, a mandatory thing is to improve relations with Naples, otherwise they will dove you, and it would be pretty hard and bloody war, which we want to avoid. And another reason, we could build spite network and create some casus belli, or use parliament for that, depends what you wish, to Papal State later on, when we ally Naples, and Naples will do all hard work for us, and we will just take war reps and money. Maybe if you wish you could also take land, but it's kind of hard early on to get some control there, but if you wish to play with a vassal there, you could release a vassal. Also an option, but it also means you will have a lot of antagonism, which you probably want to avoid till you have restored Roman borders. It will be available in the year 1501. And then you will take much less antagonism for that. So I wouldn't recommend to conquer much of land there before that. Okay, so we mostly dealt with balance. Now we have 10 legitimacy, so we could set 2 privileges. I like common militias, so in this way our levies will have higher combat efficiency, and they will have more levies. And because they have more combat efficiency, it means less levies will die, so more people will survive and build our economy. So it sounds pretty good for me. Another one is stability and communalism for clergy. Pay attention that Byzantium starts with corruption privileges, which we would like to avoid later on. I will just show you how you do that, but probably we will not cover it in this video fully. I mean, I will just show how it works. How you will use it. For that, you would use bureaucracies. This bureaucracy, when you pay for this, removes state power. This will remove malus from crown power. And if you want to remove privilege from nobles, you also want to pay for this bureaucracy, the mata, because it will remove extra power from noble estate. Then, after you pay for all of that, you have to pass a month pay for this, actually pay for this, and then it will work next month. So you could remove privileges much cheaper. But anyway, it will took a lot of stability, and satisfaction. So don't remove everything at once. Remove in a way how you like to play. Yeah, maybe you wanna remove everything that you don't like from noble estates and like, but they will revolt most likely, and you will deal with revolt and play as normal. Or maybe you wanna do it one by one so they do not revolt. And maybe you want to remove everything and give them some privileges, some other privileges so they do not revolt. It depends on your playstyle. Okay, next is advances. Let's take clerics, monster diplomats, because we will have a lot of diplomacy. We need to improve a lot of opinions, declare a lot of wars. Master diplomats are really nice. And then I guess burgers and institution grows. And that's it. Next advances we'll take from Age of Renaissance, I guess. Let's see what is next. Let's deal with our fleet. We for sure remove all transports. We don't need it yet, and if we would even need to transport something during the war, we would raise levies. So we will raise fishing ships. They of course cannot fight. If they are in a fight without any battleships, they will just retreat immediately, I guess. Just for your information, yeah, we of course wouldn't want to use them to fight. Just for transportation. And I guess we can remove half of the galleys to not pay for them. Also pretty good idea is to make our leader an admiral. So we would have some push to naval, or at least some less push to land, because as you can see, our land is mostly a coast here, and proximity through land would be hard to achieve, but it's pretty easy through the sea. So naval pushing, and then after we have 50 of naval, having government reform for harbor administration, which improves proximity support, increases development, adds extra progress to naval, and most importantly, it provides you an additional naval governor. Is really good. So this would be our not a long time goal, but a goal for the first I don't know, 50 years, let's say. Okay, we dealt with advances with military. Those guys I usually remove after I fight Ottomans, maybe Bulgaria and Serbia. But after that I remove them. You can keep them or remove immediately, depends on your playstyle. It doesn't affect much of the thing, but having some professional army could save some lives of ladies because they're just a bit stronger. So it's also fine to keep them. We will not change this law yet because we already have one, so it's pretty expensive. Our hair is an idiot trait. So if you know how to get rid of him, would be good. Maybe you could have night admiral and kill a ship in the sea or something, but it works not every time, so so it depends on your luck. Another thing is you can join for an order of chivalry. Right now only Hungary is available, but still Hungary will provide extra availability and diplomatic reputation. I will not use it for current king, but maybe for next head, because you could join it like every 10 years or something. And if somebody join it, you have a penalty for 10 years, nobody else can join it. Okay, now let's remove buildings we don't need now and which took our money. So I will remove city walls. I will keep the Dosian walls, but also remove castles. This one, I like to keep castle in Thessaloniki because later we will build a local governor here. So this is how it looks for the first time. I like to keep this castle in Philadelphia for the first war and then remove it. You can also remove it immediately, depends on you, but this castle will make pretty good work for us. What next? You can see that we have 17% of Bulgarian, and later on in the game we will for sure expand in Bulgaria. Maybe release a vassal here to make them improve opinion of our culture. But now, now we cannot. And Bulgaria, at least I choose Bulgaria as a rival. So we can declare a war and get some money from them. So for sure, we will not be able to ask them to improve opinion anytime soon. But anyway, we can accept their culture because it is pretty big amount of people, and we don't even, and even in some locations, they are dominant, so that's why we don't have course yet. So I like to accept Bulgarian culture, make them fully accepted. It brings us to the full limit, maybe even just a bit over, but it's absolutely not critical. And in exchange, everything will be court, and you'll get more control and more money and more waves. Next, for yeah, I will take some loans. Actually, even 2 loans. For metal distribution, expert bank would make a better joke later in the game. But for the early game, when we don't mint a lot for now, but we will soon. And like for first 100 of years, maybe like 80 or 100, it for sure should work pretty good, because this increased income from minting will be very powerful boost for our economy. Okay, now subjects. It depends on your playstyle. Why I like to create some subject. Maybe this one, because here we have a really bad control and no way to push it yet. I will create it as paranoia, just because of legitimacy and some lucky events that we could integrate it immediately after ruler without a hair die. This one, and maybe this one. Of course, I choose randomly choose leaders so we don't lose our guys. And let me remember. Yeah, maybe this Sally, or maybe even keep it. Both options are valid. In some time we will anyway. Maybe this one. Okay, put is this guy. Because it's Albanian culture. Not from the other candidates integrate. Okay, I will keep it as is for now. I created just 2. Now, our first guy, which is already appointed, have 99 abilities in diplomatic. It's very, very strong, and he will push communalism. He'll try to push it to 100. So, right now he could do it to 63. After Black Death arrived, we could repel seek price, I guess, for plus 20% of communalism. Also, later on, we will give some of our states extra communalism. Like, for example, to tribal men's disallow gathering. So it's also extra communalism. And if it's still not enough to push, you could swap employment system. For example, to equality. However, it might be not really good, so you could swap to it just to push to 100 if you wish, and then swap to first come first serve as it was, or to infrastructure that is profitable, or whatever you wish, or fit your play style. But this is also an option, but remember that it costs 10 stability, so if you swap twice, it would be 20 stability, which isn't really good. Another issue which we have is war exhaustion. We have a lot of it, so we will try to get rid via cabinet member. I would choose somebody not very old, but with good stats. This Alexis maybe would be a pretty good leader. So I will assign him, I guess, immediately for a leader. I'll not assign him accidentally as a cabinet member. And then here, I guess I will choose Gregorius. Okay, so this was reducing. What else we could do? Strengthen government doesn't make sense for now. Do not pay for it. Maybe later in the game. Stabilize country could be okay. Maybe diplomatic endeavors to have some extra improvement with Naples. And another thing we need is to integrate. You of course could release those things as vassals, because they have no control yet. However, it is our culture. Everywhere, Greek is dominant. So once we integrate it, we would already have some control there. And after we build a local government in Thessaloniki, it would be easier to push control there. As an option, instead of diplomatic endeavors, we could also integrate two of our non-integrated provinces. But for now, I want to push some inter-opinions with Naples, so they do not declare kindness. And let's choose some other guys to our cabinet. Maybe this one. Actually, it's good. Okay, now next step is to balance our profit economy, and for that we are going to close some buildings which do not give us any profit yet. So I will close all granaries, all temples. Actually, marketplaces still do some Profits, I will not close them. Yours, monasteries, royal courts, docks, hospital or house, university, even sergeantry. So it costs all of that. I guess it's enough. Later on, when your tribal Spence estate would be taxable for at least 0.01, you will be able to bribe them. And it's pretty good because at 100 of satisfaction, they would provide the good bonuses for food production and raw material output. For now, I guess we'll just take some stability. Maybe some small amount of money, and maybe even without this money, but just some extra tax from burgers. Nothing from clerics, because legitimacy will drop anyway. And I guess we would need diplomats. And another thing which we do is request is try to purchase military access from Ottomans. They reject, and rejection provides us with a casus belli. We're not able to use it now, of course, but we will be able to use it in a month. Casus belli is denied military access. Each provides you very big malus for conference aggregate. However, it doesn't affect return course action. So we will be able to take all money, reps, and return our course, which is very important. We won't be able to conquer all of Ottomans, but still, part of Ottomans is Turkish culture, and it's too deep in Anatolia, so we will not have control yet. So my option is to attack them right now, in a month, is this casus belli. This casus belli is better than a war without casus belli, because you will not lose stability. And high stability will help us to get rid of our privileges, corrupted privileges sooner. This is first moment. Another option is to build spy network and create casus belli and conquer all of Ottomans. But this is possible to do in 2 years. And it means that Ottoman will be much stronger. They will have maybe even bigger armies than yours. And you could still beat them, trick them to start siege Constantinople, bring your navies, maybe you would need a bit more navies than like 6 galleys. And then siege can down, because siege in Constantinople with the Theodosian's wall, it's almost impossible early game. Just an option. That it would be in 2 years, and you would have to deal with much stronger Ottoman. And another option is to do this trick with just Karasids, declare war, call extra parliament, and with the parliament create a province, casus belli on Ottoman, and then declare war on both and take, sorry, not Karasids, but Germans, because Karasids are vassal of Germans. And then from Germany, just return all cores which you can, and fully annex Ottoman. This is also an option. But I prefer this slower and steady way, where we take land over which we could easily have some control. And this is the way how we will build our economy. However, this last option also looks good to me. So the next step is, of course, try to purchase military access from Germans. They, of course, reject, so now we have two casus bellis, which will allow us to return our course. And now let's wait a month speak. As you can see, we actually will make less money, it's just stabilizing now, but still, even with no minting, actually pretty low minting, that reduces our inflation right from the very beginning. We still have a good amount of money. So now we have two events, Turkish Threat and Fate of Phoenix. Now we will not do anything with that. It's at pause earlier, but hope it won't change anything for us. Because sometimes Germany is also weak that sometimes vassals are just dropping. So we have to be fast with Germany. So we declare war on them immediately. And now pay attention that call terrorism hackers now. And now pay attention that we don't have diplomats. And once we raise slaves, we won't be able to declare war. Yeah, of course, there is no sense to raise slaves here because they will just die. And on those islands as well. And here as well, because it's hard to bring them to the war. But all other levies we raise. And now we use our nobles action to get extra diplomats. With extra diplomats, we declare to Ottomans immediately, while our levies are not raised yet. And now we have some extra diplomats which will be cut to our cap of maximum 3 diplomats. What are our options? We could... I guess we could also request military... Try to purchase military access from Bulgaria, so we'll have casus belli for 10 years with them. And after this wars, we will be able to at Bulgaria just for money and war reps. But for Serbia, I guess would be better to have a spy and create a casus belli for our core. You can see we have a lot of cores here. And we could take cores and maybe even some extra locations like silvers. So now we just need to deal with dwarves. Oops. This slaves we also don't wanna create because they will die there. No reason to pay for Navia anyway. Our clergy are pretty good and they actually pay some money, so maybe then have pretty good satisfaction. In drops, maybe we could ask for... no, actually no, we already asked for burgers, I guess. The other option is also to call extra parliament. It costs them legitimacy, but we don't have any anyway. This is a good option if you wanna to conquer all Ottomans in the first war immediately. So you just declare on Germany and put request the parliament. Those guys we sent to the Balikesir, and those we will first gather on Callipolis. Maybe this guy, because the other one is pretty old one. Ottoman doesn't have, of course, military access here, so we are safe to run everywhere here. So as you can see, all enemy troops busy with sieging our fort, except maybe one could try to conquest the guy. And now it depends on us. We have two options. One is fight them here, and another one to just conquer two locations, maybe three, and then maybe fight smaller group here, because part of them will go some other way, and it usually would be enough to take all cores we need. But as you can see, we already have some cores to turn, but some cores are not available. That's because we didn't siege their capitals yet. Yeah, I will show you right now the easiest way is just to fight them, but you could win this war even without fighting, so you will save more of your troops. But even a fight here looks pretty easy. I will even split to faster conquer. Here I would choose everything which doesn't cost us money. And here is pretty bad satisfaction modus. So it's up to you in this event, but it is minus monthly control. It means pretty much will not have any control over this location anytime soon. Anytime soon, I mean for 10 years. But still, this location provides us with 0.01 ducat for now. So it's not important for us. We could just easily have no control over this location. So for now, we could return all our cores. And all of course will also provide us with an extra vassal, because our course fully cover one of the vassals of Germany who has its own vassal. This guy. So we could return all our cores now, take all money. Maybe a bit less money, but war reps from Germany. And as you can see, because we return our cores, we do not have any antagonism. But we cannot take anything else because of our war goal. Actually, maybe it also would be a good idea to get some military and food access, so you could attack Ottoman from different angles. And while Ottoman army is there, we could safely siege Bursa. This is actually all we need to get our goals, but be careful because their army is pretty strong. And we reduce speed a bit, and if they, yeah, we might not even see if they would wanna attack us from this location. But right now they stay still. Yeah, and in a while we could build some profitable buildings like Taylor's Guild. Taylor's Guild would give us a lot of money, especially in Constantinopolis, because we have this urban right which have extra local fine plus output. And 100 control, of course. Here about Smyrna, it's up to you, but for me, local development and extra maritime presence for 50 years looks better. And another important thing, yeah, we got some extra fort, so we could actually we got extra fort in Smyrna, which I would like to keep, but this one in Philadelphia we do not need anymore, so we could just delete it. And these are 3 forts which I like to keep in Thessaloniki, Smyrna, and Constantinopolis, because Thessaloniki and Smyrna would be our 2 places for local governance. Actually, in Thessaloniki, we could even start building it soon, I guess. But first, we might try to remove from our lawns even. Okay, if Ottoman just stay still here, I might... Yeah, here also an option which doesn't cost us money, and that we can do. Maybe this another guy we could already move to either integrate location or to recover Constantinopolis. However, it's not a big issue. Well, let's make him. Actually, he's pretty bad for integrating. Just 13, but that's still something. Yeah, as you can see, here is an extra event where we will lose stability and legitimacy. But after we conquer Ottoman, we will have an event for 20 legitimacy, and it would be the point where we could start pay for legitimacy and push it to 100. Here we just keep an eye on the siege, so we have food. Here is another option, which costs either 52 ducats to immediately remove one useless government reform and get another one pretty cool, which adds you an extra seat, or to have extra decentralization and state satisfaction that make it later. But if you make it later, it means it will cost you 20 stuff to replace. So I guess 50 ducats is worth it to spend. Be careful, because Ottoman just bring his troop in Bursa, and he might attack us. Where we have some help from a subject. We could bring all troops in one place, but then he could go to the money, and we might have some troubles with food. But it might be more safer options. It is hard to say what is better. Maybe just centralization and do not bother with anything. Because state power from cabinet is a pretty strong one. And here also some extra events. But from another point, we get extra cabinet efficiency and aristocracy. And as you can see, aristocracy provides some benefits and drawbacks. And the drawbacks also pretty big. Yeah, card spending and novel's power. So maybe we would want to even keep aristocracy versus plutocracy at 0, yeah, to not give extra power neither to nobles nor to burghers. Okay, yeah, as you can see, they try to cut our supply. They will take back the money. And I do not suggest you to attack them in the money because it's -2 penalties for us. And now they will go into our land. But soon we will siege down Bursa, so it won't be an issue anymore. Yeah, as you can see, this is their goal. But while they're busy with this land, we could take the money back. And once we siege down the capital, they will give up everything we need, I guess. Yeah, our vassal also helps us. As always, we choose an option which costs us less money. This one now we could pay less for forts. Maybe mean just a bit more to not... yeah. Bursa is sieged. And now let's see what we could take. So we could take all our cores. I would even prefer to not take one of them, like this one. So we would already have a good casus belli for Ottomans for next war. And next war we could create a casus. We could create a spy network and casus belli. Actually, our cool guy is 99 of people things died, unfortunately. Let's switch this cabinet to another guy. So if we do not take one, of course, we would have pretty good option to attack Ottoman once more. But as you can see, I wanna more money, maybe early slaves or reps. Maybe even remove all treaties, but not sure about that. So we need a bit more points. I'm not sure, he might want to attack guys. Either in Bursa or... yeah, those guys in Bursa are kind of in trouble. Because Ottoman army is pretty strong. In Bursa... is just flat land, so I'm not bonus. Plus, you might go to Dominic or at least Belichick, or maybe somewhere here, deeper. The question is if I want to refill Garrison. I guess it would be safer way, so he never ever will be able to siege it down anytime soon. Unfortunately, our vassal decided to attack for a different reason. Of course, the easiest way is to stick our guys together and destroy enemy in one go, but at this moment we weren't able to do that, unfortunately, so we had to do such moves. But pretty soon, yeah, now you can see him. He's already ready to provide us everything we need. All course except one, no reason to dismantle first because we took boss. Maybe and humiliate. And that's it. Tides, the tide is turning. Now we remove hassles there. Or just bundle Levis. Really not sure what happened there, but yeah. Well, our archers have 0 guys, maybe they were in the nature of the fight, skill and not yet replenished. But on our land they will replenish a bit. However, we don't have much of manpower, so they won't be full. And we will get hit of them either now or after war with Bulgaria and Serbia. For Serbia, we already have 20 endpoints of spy network, so we could create a Serbia on the province. I'll just choose this one. And for Naples, let's see if we could create, make them an ally. Not yet. The next goal would be just to attack Bulgaria. And usually they rival each other with Serbia. Right now they are they are allies, so it might be a bit harder to fight them both. However, our army is still bigger than army of them both combined. So it's possible, but it would be not the easiest. And another point is Kasubeli would affect both of them. So I guess there is no reason to attack them in Bulgaria with this Kasubeli which we have, which is not allowed to conquer land. In this case, it would make sense to wait for Kasubeli for Serbia, declare on Serbia, and first attack Bulgaria. And in a year, peace them with just money and war reps, and then go and by Serbia and take lands and courses which you want. I would suggest to take course and maybe some extra land with silver mines. And after that, what else you can do? Attack Ottomans once more to get last core and maybe even full of Ottomans in the next war. Attack those guys where you have cores. Declare in Genoa. Genoa might even ally Austria, Bohemia, and whatever else, but they 99% will not have military access to you. What you do is just declare in Genoa in this province. Siege it down and stay with an army there. It might be keep some army here because they might do some fleet defend, but also keep some army here on Wargol and keep this Wargol for like 5 years or something. Then all of Genoa allies will be happy to declare peace with you, and Genoa will give up, and you will take this land, could even take some extra land in islands, but pay attention, it's HR rate land, so it might have a lot of antagonism, but if you took just a bit, it's fine. And what else? Well, yeah, I guess you could also take this one. Also, an option is to declare on papal state or once you ally Naples, so you could get pretty big war reps from papal state. And important thing, yeah, is to create local governments in Smyrna and Thessalonica, and maybe even create markets there. It would make you a lot of money, but before you can create local government in Smyrna, you of course need a road, and you would need to build a road to Nicomedia, and as you can see, it costs almost 1,000 gold, so it would take some time. But now I guess I will just get rid of those loans, start to win against smaller amounts. I get it faster from inflation. And soon we will have event, which gives us some extra legitimacy. And at this point we would be able to, I guess this one. This is not the one I meant. 50 gold for 5 legitimacy, no, I don't think so. Yeah, this one. So from now, let's pay a bit. Yeah, actually another thing which I missed, when I told you about calling parliament during war, you could call it, of course, to have claim on Ottomans, but another option is to just have higher taxes, which would make a lot of gold for you. So this is the thing I missed, unfortunately. But this is the thing you could do in your game and have much more money than me now. And also, once we get rid of for exhaustion, I guess I for now will remove the guy from integrating Thessalia. By the way, as you can see, language we took from Ottomans and Germany, it's our course already, so we don't need to integrate them. I will switch, I guess, to strength government. And also would be cool to deal with this goal of mine, because right now control there is pretty small, but we could once we integrate those things or release them as well, so we could also increase control there and build local government and have pretty good control over gold. Also build a road and I guess a bridge. Now anyway, it looks kind of expensive for me to pay for legitimacy. Yeah, this is why. This is why, because next event, there are two options. One +1 seed and Romanismus and extra prestige for 20 years. But another one is extra satisfaction and legitimacy. And this legitimacy for 20 years is a really big amount, so I would suggest you to take this one. So now we still mint less than we need to get rid of inflation. And now we could have some positive progress in legitimacy. And now also we use our pledges for extra legitimacy. So for now we also could see that we have almost enough of territories. I guess we will just conquer a bit more at the turn of our course, and we will have more than 150. And then all we need is just to wait to year 1401. And we'll have restored Roman borders Castle Bay with really low antagonism. So then we can start really conquering everything around. Maybe this part, Italy, and whatever else. But for now, what I would suggest you is to have some small conquests, just a bit, yeah, time by time, when you have some extra guys to create claims or extra parliament, and mostly focus on your economy. Right now you can see our income is 19 ducats, but in like 30 years it would be 100. Yeah, and all we need to do is to build some tailor guilds and silk in Constantinopolis, build road to Smyrna, create local government here, local government in Thessaloniki, create markets, build gold, and also develop other important NGOs, yeah? Don't forget also about bailiffs. First bailiff should be on gold, and then also would be cool to have some bailiffs on saffron, iron, silk here, maybe silk here, iron here. And Smyrna itself is saffron, so it's pretty cool to also expand NGO here once we have local government. And after we push communalism, I guess we could start pushing naval and maybe humanism if you want to play white. Or if you want to play more like a tall, you could stay as a spiritualist. And I guess that's it. I hope it was helpful for you and will help you in your game. So have fun. Thanks for watching.